Hey everyone, my name is Mini Assassin, and today I will be attempting to beat Pokémon White 2 with no new moves. What this means is that as soon as I catch or am gifted a Pokémon, any moves it knows at the time are the only moves I can use. Take our starter, Oshawott. Since he only knows Tackle and Tail Whip when we obtain him, that's all he'll ever be able to use this run. As always, normal hardcore rules apply. Since this is a Gen 5 remake, I'll also be playing on Challenge Mode. Even though it's broken and doesn't actually give opposing Pokemon higher stats, it does occasionally give bosses extra Pokemon or items. To compensate for the opponent's lack in power, the level cap will be based on normal mode levels. Hugh is a pretty simple battle. 4 tackles take out his Snivy, getting Oshawott to level 7 right away. I can't stop him from learning Water Gun, so I just have to not accidentally use it. Once we get to Florcasi Ranch, I catch a level 5 Mareep with Tackle, Growl, and Thunder Wave. Bulbapedia says that you can find level 5 to 7 Riolu here, but I managed to find 7 of them at level 5 before I gave up and just caught one at level 5. He has Quick Attack, Endure, and Foresight. We lose out on Counter, but I don't think it's worth sweating over. After rescuing a lost puppy and beating up a couple school kids for training purposes, we can face the first gym leader, who is Charon, our rival from the first game. Leading with Mareep, I paralyze Patrat, then start to growl to offset his workups. After he maxes his special attack, which guarantees that he won't try to set up anymore, I switch to Oshawott and use Tail Whip to lower his defense, then use Tackle twice. When Charon heals, I use Tail Whip again as Patrat takes us down to 3 health. Another tackle takes him out, and I switch to Mareep on a tackle from Lillipup, which activates her static ability to paralyze him. We only manage to get a single growl off before going down. Oshawott comes back out and uses Tail Whip before falling. Then Riolu gets a chance to shine. Lillipup finally loses turns to paralysis, but Quick Attack doesn't do much damage, and Tackle still hits hard. If we had access to counter, we could probably win right now, but my luck says otherwise. Oh well, we're nowhere near the level cap, so I might as well train up. We can't learn any new moves to use, but hopefully the higher stats will make a difference. With the same strategy as last time, we get significantly better paralysis luck and manage to take out Patrat with Mareep. This lets us paralyze Lillipup as soon as possible and start to growl. Once he's at minimum attack, I let Mareep go down to get a free switch to Oshawott and start to use Tail Whip. After trading blows with Lillipup, who doesn't lose a single turn to paralysis by the way, Oshawott scrapes by with about a third of his health remaining. Pidove knows Quick Attack, so I use my last remaining turn to lower his defense before Riolu comes out. Which looks really bad, but Pidove doesn't actually know a flying type move here. Riolu's Quick Attack looks to be about a 3-shot as Pidove uses Work Up, which is especially scary since Charon still has a potion left, and will heal next. Never mind! Riolu crits Pidove to take him out and win us our first badge. Once we get to Verbank City, we can head to the complex and catch a Magnemite who has Thundershock, Tackle, Supersonic, and Sonic Boom. Finally, a Pokemon that can use 4 moves. Thanks to their Steel typing making them immune to Roxy's Poison type moves, we don't have to worry about Venoshock doubling in power against poison targets. Oh, right, we also catch a Growlithe with Ember, Odor Sleuth, Roar, and Leer, but since her only attack is Ember, her usefulness is rather limited. There isn't much else to do other than clear out the complex for experience and money, then take on Roxy. Magnemite takes out Coughing with a few Thundershocks and Sonic Booms, but takes nearly half their health and damage doing so. Grimer knows Mudslap and can definitely take them out in a single attack, so I switch to Oshawott. After lowering Grimer's defense with Tail Whip, Oshawott goes down and I bring in Riolu, who still doesn't do much with Quick Attack. He quickly falls to Venoshocks from Grimer. Mareep paralyzes her, then takes her out with tackles and goes down against Whirlipede. She can't do anything significant to Magnemite though, and we can defeat her handily to grab Badge 2. Before moving on, there are some Team Plasma Grunts we need to fight, but they aren't difficult yet, so we can head to Castelia City and explore the sewers with Hugh. There, we find a Zubat with Supersonic, Astonish, Bite, and Wing Attack, a Grimer with Harden, Disable, Mudslap, and Sludge, and a Rattata with Focus Energy, Bite, Pursuit, and Hyper Fang. On top of that, Mareep evolves and we find a few useful items, including the leftovers and a Twisted Spoon for if we ever catch anything with a Psychic type move. We also come across some more Team Plasma members and engage them in a double battle. The epic combo of Growlithe and Servine absolutely shred through their Scraggy and Sandile. Once that's done, Hugh abandons us and we can head to Castelia Park. There we catch a Petilil with Growth, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, and Mega Drain. Sleep Powder and Growth could be good for setting up, but Petilil might be a little too slow to effectively pull it off. Since the upcoming gym is Bug type, I let Growlithe take her time in the spotlight before she gets outclassed, effortlessly carving a path through the gym, other than getting demolished by a Dwebble with Smackdown, but we don't talk about that. Against Gym Leader Berg, I lead Flaffy to paralyze his Dwebble, then start lowering his attack. He can bypass this with Struggle Bug, but after Flaffy goes down, Rattata can give the Paraflinch strategy a shot with Bite. She doesn't get very far though, since Dwebble takes her out with a critical hit. Magnemite can avenge their fallen team members with a few Sonic Booms, but gets their special attack nuked in the process. Not that Sonic Boom cares about that though, and they demolish Carablast as well. Leavanny is super fast and takes out Magnemite, who was low anyway. Expecting Zubat to resist his attacks, I switch her in, only to be put to sleep and then demolished by Aerial Ace. Thankfully, she does get the one-turn wake up and hit a nasty wing attack. Growlithe dodges a Grass Whistle, then tanks an Aerial Ace before nabbing the kill. At this point, Berg throws in the towel and just uses Curse with Shelmet in a futile attempt to buff Acid, which doesn't work, since this is after the infamous physical special split of Gen 4. With that mostly easy victory out of the way, I remember that there are a few more useful items to gather in Castelia City, including the Eviolite and Charcoal. Would have been useful before the gym, but I'm a forgetful goober. The Charcoal boosts Growlithe's Ember by 20%, letting her demolish Colress's Steel types with ease. Even his Clink, who just spams Charge for some reason. On the way to Nimbasa City, Rattata and Zubat both evolve, but the upcoming Electric Gym does not bode well for flying types, so I catch a Sandshrew in place of Golbat, who quickly evolves into Sandslash. She knows Swift, Fury Cutter, Magnitude, and Theory Swipes. I also catch a Darumaka with Headbutt, Firefang, Uproar, and Facade, and somehow manage to get Raticate burned against another one. I get her up to the level cap of 30 without healing at a Poké Center by defeating Audino for the best XP per PowerPoint mileage. Since Raticate has the Guts ability, the burn boosts her attack instead of lowering it. This doesn't make her any faster though, so I lead with Flaffy to paralyze Elise's Emolga, then deal some chip damage before falling. This lets Raticate outspeed and oust the Flying Rat with a massive Hyper Fang. Not wanting to leave our new ground type out, I switch to Sandslash to deny Flappy's Volt Switch, then absolutely murk her with a Magnitude 9. Joltik knows Energy Ball, so I switch to Grimer to tank it as well as a Volt Switch before he can fire up a Sludge, poisoning Zebstrika. Sandslash comes in on a Stomp, then takes another before collapsing back with a Magnitude 7 to take her out. With only Joltik remaining, Raticate can easily win with a critical Hyper Fang. Now it's time for some more Team Plasma shenanigans, including meeting the ex-Team Plasma who decided to stop being terrorists and actually help people. Good on them for that. They give us a Zorua with Feint Attack, Taunt, Fury Swipes, and Scary Face. I also find a Leaf Stone and a Fire Stone which I use to evolve Petilil and Growlithe, respectively. Gym Leader Clay is rather easy thanks to Lilligant. She's gotten faster since evolving, and by putting Krokorok to sleep, she can start to set up growths for free. By the time Krokorok wakes up and hits a hard crunch, we've already gotten 3 boosts and can easily take him out while healing up nicely. Onix hangs on with 1 health thanks to his sturdy ability and explodes to nearly take us out. It's a good thing Onix has the same attack stat as a Wurmple. Mega Drain takes out Sandslash as well, but Excadrill survives and takes Lilligant out. Our own Sandslash finishes the job with a Magnitude 8, winning us badge number 5. There's some ruckus in the city's port since Team Plasma has parked their ship there. We hop aboard and fight our way through, which is fairly easy since everything we face is still just fodder. After kicking some evil butt, a purple guy shows up and summons some ninjas to kick us out. Heading to Chargestone Cave, Zorua evolves, and then we get through to Mistralton City, where Grimer evolves. We also catch a Zebstrika with Stomp, Flame Charge, Spark, and Pursuit. With our new counter to flying types, I confidently head into Skyla's gym. I lead with Zoroark disguised as Muck in an attempt to bait her Swoobat into using Psychic, but for some reason she uses Acrobatics instead. Running the numbers in a damage calculator reveals that neutral Acrobatics doesn't even come close to the damage that super effective Psychic would. This tells me that gym leaders can see through the Illusion ability, which could be challenge mode exclusive, but just seems silly. Regardless, Zoroark makes short work of Swoobat, then uses Scary Face to ensure the rest of our team can outspeed Skarmory before getting taken out by X-Scissor. Arcanine hits 2 Embers as Skarmory uses Agility to offset the speed drops. Then we use Leer until going down to Aerial Ace. This ensures Zebstrika can KO with Flame Charge, boosting his speed and letting him outspeed Swanna for the one-shot with Spark. Sigilyph is also slower, but survives to hit a nasty Psychic to bring us down to just 3 health. We're still faster though, and can win the battle with a Stomp, earning us Badge 6. With Skyla defeated, she now offers to fly us to Lentimus Town. Once there, we can travel through Reversal Mountain with Bianca. With her healing our team between battles, Darumaka gets strong enough to evolve into Darmanitan. On the other side is Undella Town, a quiet beach town without many happening. Oh crap, Hugh wants to fight. He leads Unpheasant into our Zebstrika, and thanks to getting lucky with Paralysis, we take no damage before Superior comes out. Despite being super effective, Flame Charge doesn't do a whole lot, and his Leaf Blade does over half of Zebstrika's health, so I switched to Darmanitan. Since she's 10 levels lower than Superior, Leaf Blade does a good chunk of damage, but he thankfully misses Slam so we can hit a Fire Fang for the knockout. Simisear comes out and crits a Flame Burst to take us out, so I bring in Sandslash and end the Mindless Monkey with a Magnitude 9, winning us the battle. Moving north to Route 13, we catch a Lunatone with Embargo, Rock Slide, Psychic, and Cosmic Power, then head past Opelucid City to Route 9, where we catch a Garbodor. Not because I want her on the team or anything, but because she's holding a Black Sludge, which is like leftovers for poison types, so I give it to Muck, then try the gym. We nearly lose to the first trainer, and he only had a single level 50 fracture, so I think I need to train. While we're doing that, this is a good time for me to tell you, like the video now, or I'll eat your eyes. What's that? You're not supposed to threaten the viewers? Okay, let me try again. If you subscribe, I'll give you a cookie. Everybody likes cookies. What do you mean I can't give them cookies through the video? Alright, fine, but this is the last time. Everyone follow me on Twitch to see me do some of these challenges live. Shameless promotion aside, with our team properly trained up, we can take on Drayden. I lead Muck into his Druddigon, poisoning him on the first sludge, then disabling his Crunch. Without his Dark-type move, I switch to Lunatone and deal big damage with Psychic, but Lunatone is so frail that Rock Slide takes them out. I send out Zebstrika and Drayden heals as we hit a nasty critical stomp. Another 2 take Druddigon down, but a hard revenge brings our horse very low. Nobody on the team wants to come in on whatever move Flygon picks, so I opt to sacrifice Zebstrika for a safe switch. But somehow, not only does he outspeed and land a critical stomp, it also flinches Flygon 3 times in a row, letting us take him out without going down. With such good luck, how could anything happen to Zebstrika? I use Spark on Altaria and hope for Paralysis. Oh, never mind, it didn't happen. That's okay. Darmanitan's massive head is able to smack Altaria silly and bring out Haxorus. After careful deliberation, I decide to use Fire Fang in hopes of proccing the 10% burn chance, forgetting that Darmanitan has the Sheer Force ability, which removes that chance. So Haxorus lands a massive Dragon Tail to take us out. Zoroark disguised as Muck is able to taunt and shut down any Dragon Dancing, then do some chip with Feint Attack, before being downed by an X-Scissor since Drayden has True Sight just like Skyla. The real Muck comes in and attempts to poison with Sludge, but crits instead. Haxorus, now free from his taunt, decides the best course of action is to set up, exposing himself to another Sludge, which takes him out and wins us Badge 7. Seeing how strong we are, Drayden invites us to his house to drawl on and on about Unova's legendary dragons. I really had other things I would have rather been doing, but I didn't want to be rude, so the Team Plasma attack ended up being the perfect excuse to get out of that incredibly boring conversation. As for Team Plasma themselves, while their boat looks super scary, they are not. Including Zinzalin, the masochist who hates the cold but uses Ice-type Pokemon. After Big Brain Drayden brings the DNA Splicers out of the gym, allowing Team Plasma to steal them, they retreat and we can head back to Undella Town to take the Marine Tube to Humalo City. With the upcoming Water Gym, I bring Magnemite back onto the team, and evolve them all the way to Magnezone. Being stuck with Thundershock kinda blows, but at least it's super effective. It doesn't even matter though. since Zebstrika and Lilligant demolished Marlin's entire team. Zebstrika goes down thanks to Wailord's Earthquake, but we still swept the floor with him. With that incredibly easy victory, we can chase down Team Plasma again. The Grunts are finally using fully evolved Pokemon and are somewhat challenging now. Even still, the hardest fight is another battle with Zinzalin, this time as a double battle with Hugh. Serperior and Darmanitan one-shot their first 4 Pokemon, as well as the Grunt's Scoilipede, so the only damage we took was from Weavile. After getting kicked off the ship by the Shadow Triad, yet again, we track them down to the giant chasm and have to fight our way through a different part of the ship. Once we clear the electric barriers, we have to fight Zinzalin for a 3rd time. Just like the first time, Darmanitan one-shots his entire team with Fire Fang. Right after this is a fight with Colress, and he leads Magneton. I forgot to switch Sandslash to the front of the party, so I switch out Darmanitan as Magneton uses Thunder Wave. We hit a colossal magnitude 10, but Magneton hangs on with 1 health thanks to their sturdy ability. Flash Cannon does massive damage, and instead of using my brain and going for magnitude again, I decide to use Swift as Colress heals. This prevents the subsequent magnitude 5 from killing Magneton, allowing them to take Sandslash out. Because Magneton isn't protected by Sturdy anymore, Darmanitan can land the killing blow with Fire Fang. Magnezone comes out, and just like Magneton, they have Sturdy, so I switch to Lilligant to break it with Leech Seed. Once she gets taken out, I bring Darmanitan back in and end them with another Fire Fang. Metang and Klinklang don't have Sturdy, so Fire Fang one-shots them both, bringing in Behem last. Surprisingly, Fire Fang doesn't one-shot, but Headbutt can easily finish him off. On our way out of the ship, we find Hugh's sister's Purloin, now a Liepard. The Shadow Triad must have hacked Glare onto this Liepard though, since it uses it to paralyze Hugh, forcing us to deal with the ninjas on our own. Darmanitan is so cracked that he can one-shot every single one of their Pokemon, letting us head to the Ghetsis fight. First off though, we need to take out the Kyurem that's been fused with Reshiram. Given that we have 6 Pokemon and get fully healed after this, it really isn't an issue. Ghetsis himself, however, is a different story. Kofagrig is poisoned and does moderate damage to Darmanitan, then takes out Zoroark before getting taken out by Zebstrika. Lilligant downs Seismitoad before going down against Electros. Darmanitan finishes him off, then gets taken out by Drapion, who in return gets taken out by Sandslash. Then Ghetsis sends out Hydreigon, who proceeds to wipe the rest of our team. Needing something to deal with Dragon types, I catch a Metang with Meteor Mash, Psychic, Iron Defense, and Hyper Beam, then evolve them into Metagross and try Ghetsis again. This time, I lead with Zoroark disguised as Metagross holding a Dark Gem. The Dark Gem boosts Feint Attack by 50%, and we also get a crit. This absolutely evaporates Kofagrigus and sends in Drapion. I use Taunt to prevent any status moves, not realizing that this Drapion only knows attacking moves, so Zoroark gets taken out by an X-Scissor. Sandslash comes in and takes out Drapion with a few magnitudes, and since we replace Lilligant with Metagross, we need to brute force Seismitoad. Metagross does a chunk with Psychic before going down, as does Zebstrika with Stomp. Lunatone finishes him off with their own Psychic, then takes a Crunch from Electros before finishing him with another pair of Psychics. Toxicroak is 4 times weak to Psychic and gets obliterated, sending in the terrifying Hydreigon. He misses a Rock Slide, so Embargo goes through to disable his held Life Orb and prevent Ghetsis from healing. After falling to Crunch, I send in Sandslash and start using Fury Cutter, since Magnitude won't do anything. Hydreigon misses 2 Dragon Rushes before hitting one, then takes Sandslash out with a Crunch. Since Embargo expired, Ghetsis can heal again, but he must be at a full restores, so Headbutt takes out the dragon, winning us the battle and letting us head to Victory Road. Zebstrika seems to be falling off, so I catch a Mienfoo with Jump Kick, Force Palm, Drain Punch, and U-Turn, then evolve him. While hunting for gems in the giant chasm, I find an Excadrill, and with Magnitude being so inconsistent, I catch him as a replacement for Sandslash. He knows Earthquake, Horn Drill, Rock Slide, and Sword Stance. Horn Drill won't be useful at all since it only works on lower leveled opponents, which we never face. Earthquake is always welcome though. The trek through Victory Road isn't too difficult, but Hugh awaits us at the end. Despite being challenge mode, he still only has 4 Pokemon, and thanks to a lucky flinch, Excadrill can take out Unpheasant without taking a hit. Bouffalon threatens with Earthquake, so I switch to Zoroark and use a Scary Face before going down. This allows Mienshao to outspeed and hit a nasty jump kick, but Bouffalon survives to hit a head charge. The recoil takes him out, and it's Simisear versus Lunatone. Unfortunately, the monkey is pretty speedy and has sharp teeth, so we need to switch. The speedy monkey isn't faster than my steel mole though, so he goes down. Superior hits him with a hard leaf blade, but that's all he can do, so I switch to Darmanitan and obliterate him. After a bit more training, our final team consists of Lunatone, Zoroark, Excadrill, Metagross, Darmanitan, and Mienshao. Heading into the Elite Four, I start with Caitlyn, since unlike gym leaders, she's cheesable with illusion. Against Zoroark disguised as Mienshao, Caitlyn will do nothing but spam Psychic type attacks. As you can expect, they don't do anything to Zoroark, and we can easily chip away at her team with feint attacks until we win. Up next is Chantal, and while she isn't nearly as easy as Caitlyn, Zoroark makes short work of both Cofagrigus and Golurk, sending in Chandelure. In challenge mode, she has a Choice Scarf, meaning she'll outspeed anything we can throw at her while also launching innately powerful Fire Blasts at our team. Even Darmanitan struggles to hang on. Once the dust settles, Chandelure is out of Fire Blast power points and it's Excadrill against the world. Because of the Choice Scarf, Chandelure is forced to use Struggle, and if I were smart and or good at the game, I would set up Swords Dance. Instead, I blindly hit Earthquake without thinking and take out our only chance to set up. Luckily, we resist all of Drifblim's attacks and can take her out with 2 Rock Slides. Bayonet is a similar story, and even though she lands a Will-O-Wisp and Chantal heals, Excadrill can easily take her out with Earthquakes. After reviving everyone, we can take on Grimsley, who is generally considered the easiest Elite Four member. Mienshao can shrug off Liepard's normal gem boosted Fake Out with his Inner Focus ability preventing him from flinching, then use Drain Punch to one-shot while healing back to full health. Absol and Bisharp are one-shots as well, then we use U-Turn on Crocodile to remove the attack drop from Intimidate. Switching to Lunatone on an Earthquake means they take no damage thanks to their Levitate ability. I hard switch back on a Crunch, then hit a Drain Punch for the KO and healing. Finally is Scrafty, who goes down in 2 Force Palms. Easy peasy. Last is Marshall, who can easily annihilate unsuspecting trainers with his hard-hitting fighting types. Lunatone, while not resistant to their strongest attacks, can at least hit back super effectively. They dispatch Throw after taking a hard payback, then take out Conkeldurr with a critical Psychic before falling against Lucario. His Steel typing means that Mienshao can come in and one-shot with Jump Kick, then switch out to Metagross as Marshall's Mienshao lands a weak bounce. Psychic can easily finish off both of Marshall's remaining Pokémon, letting us move on to the champion fight with Iris. I forgot to rearrange my team orders, so I lead Lunatone into Hydreigon. This isn't a great matchup, so I switch to Mienshao and one-shot with Jump Kick after tanking a Surf. A critical Drain Punch does a significant amount of damage to Druddigon and heals back most of the damage taken from Hydreigon, but it still can't save Mienshao from Outrage. Zoroark disguised as Lunatone comes in and finishes her with a feint attack, since Iris can't heal while locked into Outrage. I predict a Dragon Dance from Haxorus and use Taunt to prevent it, but get demolished by Outrage instead. Metagross can come in and nail Haxorus with a critical Meteor Mash to bring her down to 1 health thanks to her held Focus Sash. Because of this, she lands 2 hits of Outrage before going down, which, despite being resisted, still do a non-insignificant amount of damage to Metagross. Aggron comes out, and I switch to Lunatone to absorb the incoming Earthquake and hit a soft Psychic before falling. Excadrill can avenge them with a nasty 4x super effective Earthquake, then nail the Lapras that comes out with a Rock Slide before going down. Metagross is able to land a Meteor Mash, which just barely doesn't kill, but also gets us the attack boost. Lapras lands a Sing though, so we have to wake up first. In the meantime, Iris heals, then Lapras misses a Hydro Pump. When Metagross eventually does wake up, they aren't messing around and put Lapras down with a critical Meteor Mash. Archeops is last and does very little with Stone Edge before falling to Meteor Mash, winning us not just the battle, but the entire run. Well, that was a fun run. Even if it was a tad easy, any playthrough of Unova is welcome in my book. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button to let me know. Toodles!